The phony war is over. Norwich City begin their new Premier League season at home to Everton on Saturday with a new-look squad and some pretty hefty expectations. The Canaries' summer spending has topped £26 million and raised not only the odd eyebrow, but also the expectations of City fans. Managing those will be one of several challenges facing Norwich boss Chris Hughton this season.
We'd like to think that we have strengthened and we've strengthened as a squad, but so has everybody else. It's very easy to go and look at other clubs' websites and see the players that they've brought in, and I think that's about this league and how tough this league is. That everybody feels that they need to get themselves in the best possible position to start this campaign and try and be as strong as they can. So we certainly feel that we have improved, but you have to go and prove that on a football pitch. You know, we can talk as much as we can. People can speak about Norwich and expectations possibly higher than this stage last season, but unless the results are as good or not better than last season, then you know it's a tough fight again.
Jonny Howson's two spectacular goals to round off last season summed up City's buoyant 11th place Premier League finish in May. So if the midfielder and his City colleagues can start this season how they ended last, there could be exciting times ahead.
I think as a player you just want to, well for me personally, it's just play as many games as I can. You know, last season was a bit in and out, you know. Towards the back end I got a nice run of games, so for me just play more consistent, and for the team, you know, I think the way that we ended the season, I think it's just carry that over and see where it takes us. You know, I've always been a believer of you want to do better each season as a player and as a team, so you know it was a good end to the season and finished in a very respectable place in the end. So as I say, we'll take each game as it comes, give it all we've got and see where it takes us. You know, with the arrival of the new players, you know, once the games start and, you know, throughout the team, everyone's, you know, wanting to start that first game of the season. You know, we've had good healthy competition, you know, with the new lads coming in as well. I think you look across the side, you know, there's competition and lads playing for places, you know, but it's first game of season, you know, tomorrow, and it's a long season ahead. It's tough, you know, and I think if you can get a good pre-season in, it can set you in good stead for the full season.
One thing is for certain, Norwich City are due an opening day victory. In fact, it's been a decade since the Canaries registered 3 points after their first 90 minutes of action. Everton are not the easiest opponents to end that hoodoo, but with Roberto Martinez taking charge of his first game as Everton manager, there will be an element of the unknown at Carrow Road on Saturday.
I'm quite sure that you know, new manager or no new manager, that the challenge will be exactly the same. Looking at their pre-season games, if I look at the personnel, I think Roberto's brought in, you know, 3-4 players, I think, but the personnel in them particular games were, you know, the same personnel as last season, and they've fared very, very well. They've got a lot of quality in the squad. I expect that even if there are some subtle differences in perhaps a philosophy of play, is that the DNA of the club doesn't change. You know, and they've got very, very good footballers there. Very determined footballers there, and hence that's why they've been in the positions in the league that they have been in for as many years as perhaps we can remember now. The first game of the season, so you like to think that from a crowd point of view, that I think the crowd are going to be very excitable for as much as we've been waiting for the first game of the season. You know, they've been willing that day to come along as well. So, but continue on what we've always said last season. You know, we've got to get, well, we've certainly got to give our crowd something to cheer about. They'll be behind us. There'll be willingness on that goes without saying. But it'll be a tough game. These are a team of great quality. You've only got to look at the amount of their players that were away on international duty, and we have to be a fighting team. You know, anything less what we showed last season in our abilities to be a fight for each game will make it more difficult for us.